God.
All right, let's kick this thing off so we can get it going. I love that.
Go for it.
What's up, guys? John Sentes, Alex Rojas, Cutternation, Nama Strength. We've come together to form Let's Win a Ball Game podcast, which is the only thing that's important. I got a group of LWABG college guys in here right now, and it's so funny when I ask them simple questions like, how do you win a baseball game? And they just are dumbfounded. They just want to get on base, and that is not the answer.
What's up, Woody?
Anyway, so new remote training with Cutternation. Check our website. I'm pretty excited about it. I've got a nice video package that I put together, and I'll be adding more videos as it goes to it. Let's see. Mark Pro, use discount code Clean Fuego. Scoutus Pro, download that. Let me look at my board here. Tater bats, Kraken bat grip, custom Cutternation combo coming out. HitTrax, AXIO Trainer, Acumobility, Vook grip, TrackMan, PitchLogic, and more.
Holy shit, Batman.
Yeah. And now to my friend.
Well, first of all, shout out to Wood. Where is he at?
Oh, best catcher in the game right there. Yeah.
Hey, dude, Wood is one of those guys that is from a place that you never heard of in junior college that just competes at a high level.
Yeah.
Because he's from Idaho, and all these California kids, and I was talking about this with one of my coworkers last night. It's like, no offense to kids that are born and raised in California, but there are kids in other states that are just as good as you, and they didn't have the blessings that you had. Not to say that everyone's having a hard life outside of California, but we're just talking about the access to the facilities. You're playing 9 to 10 months out of the year. The ability for you to be good at baseball in California is just easy based on the weather, like quite literally, right? And he's an example of a guy that when I was a kid, I was like, he's from Idaho. I was like, how good could a dude from Idaho be? And he had one of the dirtiest curveballs with a great fastball. And yeah, there you go. Anyways, we're fucking raking. I'm not gonna lie. We got some guys that are hitting well. Not everybody's crushing, but we've got a lot of guys that are progressing in game and they're still training, which is super important. One of our best guys statistically one of our best guys, not the highest exit velo, but just consistently one of our best guys, just hit his second bomb yesterday. He's fun to watch. He's not committed anywhere to a college. So if anybody wants to watch Mitch Kreider at Amador Valley High School, he's hitting the ball very well. And got to watch our Granada High School guys play yesterday. They're hot. My alma mater, Amador, where I think they're 9 wins in a row, and Mitch was hitting .485. I'm not sure what he's hitting now, but he was smoking the baseball in 15 games played. So, like, they've played some games, and he's established that he's hitting the ball right now. But anyways, back to Luis Arias, and I want to bring up tater bats real quick because I want to talk about some hitting training, right? And I want to ask you, have you used those tater split grips yet? Do you guys have those yet?
Is it a 2-piece?
No, it's the one that's got.
Yeah, we have it. We have the big old log.
Yes. Tell me about that. What do you guys think about that?
I love it. I mean, I always love swinging heavier stuff. You know me. I want to throw a 2-pound ball, 3-pound ball. Yeah. I want to throw that and then go to a 5-ounce. You know, I know there's a lot of people that have said if you swing an overload and then you go hit, like you're swinging slower. Well, I mean, I think the goal is to access more energy inside the muscle system. That's the goal, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe you're swinging it wrong, right? Because you're not swinging it as fast as you can. Maybe you're swinging it slow.
You don't have a reference point.
Right. I mean, I'm 37, still got 98 on the exit velo with the wood and 105 with the beezer. So that's just because your boy likes some leverage.
Yeah.
I was casting the barrel like a full driver the other day, just like throwing it at the catcher's head, like, and just like coming through it at like 99, going like, this is amazing. Short to the ball, my ass.
Yeah. Get the right length to weight ratio on a guy. Like it's.
I got my piece. I got my piece right here.
So to go off of that, we have a very gifted junior varsity player. His name is Chase McGill. He is a good two sport athlete, football, baseball. He just like in BP, he just plays gap to gap, 85 to 89 miles an hour. And he's just been stuck. He's like, Coach, I can't even hit 90. And we're working on stuff. And then shout out to Matt Rose, our other hitting coach. He goes, why do you swing a 32? And this kid's huge. Like, this kid's your size probably, and a football player kind of build, right? Like, big boy. And so he grabs the Black Magic 34-31 that he's got, because Matt's got all the toys. I don't even use my bats when I show up to work. I just grab one of Matt's for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he knows this by now, and it's all love because he's got the best toys there. They're the best bats.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's got a 34-31, and we had a conversation with everybody about swinging bigger and heavier bats and talking about the error correction that happens in your swing when you swing a bigger and a heavier bat, because the shit doesn't work with a heavy bat. That works when you have a light little drop. Like, dude, there's some guys that swing on a drop 5 that are going to high school next year. I'm like, bro, you should have swung a drop 3 6 months ago. Like, you got to get on board. You're going to high school next year. Why are you swinging a drop 5?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't give you an advantage, because then you're technically going to be less experienced with a bat that you have to swing with. Anyways, get off that soapbox. He topped out at 93.4 that day after just swinging the 34. And we did some heavy bat training and some other stuff for the class that we did. But the next day, which was yesterday, he just wanted to know where the 34 was right when he got in there. He was like, I need to swing something bigger. And this kid's got a wingspan that's like 75, 76 inches long. Like, he's huge, right? So he could probably swing like a 36-inch bat. But we've got this thought process that the shorter the bat, the quicker I am to the ball and the better my swing is. And it's like, in a vacuum, that works. Like, in a vacuum, right? But when guys are starting to throw stuff that blows your barrel back because of how much movement, like, I watch 10-year-olds get their barrel blown back on like 45 mile an hour on the pitching machine. And then they use a drop 5, and when they have more weight, they don't get blown up. It's harder for them to swing at the right speed, right? Because they're not used to it, but they don't get blown up. I see high schoolers do that too. We're like, bro, I just saw you get blown up. Like, you need some leverage.
I saw you get blown.
Like, you squared the ball up on timing, but the ball won the force battle. Like, you couldn't stay through it, so you pulled off it. Like, that's what I see with the skinny 11 to 13-year-olds that haven't figured it out so much, right? I'm not saying any names any specifically, so don't get that upset out there. But if you know it's you, like, come on, swing a bigger bat. Like, you should. Like, John is a large human, but he also doesn't swing a 32. Like, what's the size and regulation of that there stick?
This is a 34 and a half drop 2.
34 and a half drop 2. So is that a 34, 32 and a half?
Yeah.
Now, that thing is what we would call a log. Now,
I love it's so balanced. Like, it's not balanced, but there's a huge barrel on this thing. Like, this thing is all barrel.
Yeah.
Almost illegal.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, like, you have to swing these things, not necessarily all the time. Like, you swing your drop 3s and whatnot, but, like, you need to comfortably swing bigger bats so you know how to, like we talked about, like, what's a reference point of, like, swinging hard. Like, you just have to have reference points, man. It's just like swinging or throwing a heavy enough ball, right? Just to stimulate enough. And I don't know anything about that, so I won't even touch that subject. But the next thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to ask you about, was, now I'm gonna have to stand for this one. We're gonna have a slight demonstration on this one, because we've been having conversations about where our hands are. So I got a lot of kids that they just hang out with their hands like all the way out here, even when they get down here. Now, you're a pitcher, John. If you see a kid's hands hanging out here right before they swing, what are you going to do to that guy?
Well,
they're just hanging out here, and he's down. Like, he's swinging from here.
Say,
like this
just change ups away. Just change ups and two seams away. I'm just going to watch you beat it into the ground.
Like, it's a really easy, like, and you're just going to pretty much be here all day, right? You're 2 pitch out, maybe 3, right? And one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, I know you read guys. So, like, do you read where guys hold their hands? Like,
yeah, everything, anywhere their body is. Like, okay, can you stand up for me?
Yeah.
The shape of your swing can only do something from where your launch point is. So if your hands are like level, like slight, I would consider that bottom hand slightly below the shoulder. So you're going to have a level swing, and you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle things up, and you're going to struggle with things down. So I need to, instead of east to west, I need to attack you north and south. Now, if you put your hands above your ear, right, a little higher, right, if you're all the way up there, you're going to be really good to be on top of the ball. So you're going to hit breaking balls really well. You're going to hit pitches down really well, but you're not going to hit pitches away. The away is going to be, unless you dump the barrel. If you dump the barrel incorrectly, then it doesn't come around the right way. Now, if you go lower and you go full form flat to the ground, Barry Bonds, right, you're going to be way strict, like quicker to the ball, right? So because it's just the straightest line for what it is. So, like, I'm going to have to beat you in a more difficult game of back and forth, up and down, left and right. And so, like, I can just get your timing off. But if I throw it inside, you're going to be able to spin on it.
So as I got older, like, I used to be up here when I was a kid, and then as I figured out how to, like, hit the ball out of the park, and my hands did occasionally get lowered to when I was playing, my arms were pretty much right here the whole time. They were just hanging out down there.
Yep.
And then it's like this, I don't know who that Italian guy is. Matt, if you're watching this right now, if you could message that Italian hitting coach who works with all those big leaguers this dude's hilarious. I don't know what his name is. I can't think of it. But he's got the best New York accent / like Italian kind of guy. And he just says it really, really simple in like a really easy way. It's like that outfield, or what was it? Basically in the sense of, like, don't hit the ball on the ground, hit the ball over the fence. What's his name? Grade him. Yeah, that guy. I'll have to do some research.
Yeah.
Grade him. But the point I'm making is, like, once you figure out how to launch the ball, I think it is like kind of a lower hands, not the dude. I had a dad come in the other day, and I kept telling his kid, because his kid's elbow right up here. And I was just trying to have this conversation, and every Little League dad out there tells him to pick it up, right? Every Little League dad out there tells him to pick up their back elbow, and it doesn't make the swing any better, because it's just like what we talked about. You're going to be really on top of the ball, and you're going to struggle with stuff. Like, it's going to be hard for you to hit the ball in the air, and the objective is for us to go deep, because that's the perfect swing.
Yeah.
Do it 763 times.
Oof.
Try that, dude. That's so
Yeah,
hard.
if anybody's having a good or bad day, right, just go watch Barry Bonds hit his home runs in order, and then you'll just kind of like, yeah. And then you'll just start wondering why anybody in the big leagues ever threw him inside. Like, ever. Like, every time I see that, I'm always like, what are we doing? Why was this the right idea? Who thought throwing inside the Barry Bonds? Like, it's one thing if you're trying to miss inside, but you could see plenty of guys that just, like, were not missing inside. And you were just kind of like, well, this isn't working, fellas. I hope you know that. I hope you know that this is not working. I don't have another way to say it. I'd love to be nice to you about it, but it doesn't make any sense.
Dude, there's like a weird gap, I feel like, in the idea between, like, doing the opposite of what they're trying to do, right, in the game of baseball. Like, you want me to hit ground balls. Like, it's the easiest thing for you to do. It minimizes damage. Like, I would have to hit 4 perfect ground balls through a hole to generate 1 run. Right? Or down the lines in various ways, right? But it would take more than 2 or 3 guys, right? Versus the idea of one guy could theoretically just take the lead. But we don't think about it like that. We think about it like these, I don't know what, like, it's the idea of, like, I got to take what he gives me, but it's like, yeah, I'll take, like, the idea of what he gives me, but, like, how do I maximize that to expose what that guy did?
Yeah.
Like, I don't just want to, like, put a layup. I want to cross this fool up, throw it off the backboard, T-Mac down here, and, like, hit it with one of these all the time. All the time, right? And that can just be a line drive or a triple or a double, whatever it is. But it's like, how do you maximize that shape that guy gives you? Because it's really easy for him to mess that shape up if you try to do, like, a cookie cutter thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there.
No, I love it.
Just letting that sit out there.
Yeah. Also, have you seen Rojas' wife? Kid is winning.
Yeah. She's very good looking.
She's a nice lady. She's
super nice. Dude, she's kind of sketchy. Like, if she was walking the streets, I would be afraid to approach her because, dude, she's got hidden weapons you don't know about. She's got tactics that you're just not aware of.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But that's, like, the idea of staying inside the baseball, the Robinson Cano drill, right? Putting the net right here, and you got to swing on one side or the other. Like, that's a good concept, but you can't base your whole hitting philosophy around that because you have to be able to adopt different things because that can just get you into the backside Billy baseball. We're going to play West Coast. Let's hit 4 backside ground balls and let's win a ball game. It's like, bro, come on.
I said that to a kid in advance last night. I said, what are you good at? And he said, hitting the ball to right field. I go, no, you're not. You haven't done it one time and got it hit. Not once. Not once.
He thought you wanted him to say that.
Just doing it, like just doing it and hitting it that way does not mean it's successful. Like, hitting the ball to the right of second base doesn't mean it's going to work. Like, there's actual specific spots. Mm-hmm. And so, like, right after that, I said, well, I'm pretty sure you're better at pulling the ball. Like, he's been coming to advanced for like 3 months now, right? And every time I talk to him after a week, like, how'd it go? Did you play? He goes, he's always saying something like, yeah, dude, crushed the ball to the left fielder, pulled it down the line, had a hard hit up the middle. I'm like, sick. And then he'll come in and be like, yeah, I'm really just trying to think about going to right center every time. I'm like, just sounds so American. Like,
it does. Like, I understand conceptually, like, yeah, you want to keep your shoulders here and you're trying to hit the inside part of the baseball, but that's just where your body's pointed. Yeah. That doesn't mean your brain is doing that. Like, I'm not arguing that that's not where your body should be because it should be there. You should have a body positioning that you can do that, but offensively, like, come on. Like, I'll always call bullshit on the mic drop. I'm just trying to hit a line drive over the shortstop.
No, you're not.
That doesn't always work. Like,
and not only that, I've seen you hit a slider, motherfucker. Like, you fucking pull that shit.
Right. But yes, conceptually, you are trying to do that one thing. But that's not what happens every time.
I could say that from launch, I could see how you're trying to swing that direction.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're trying to hit the ball that way.
Right.
But you're swinging at where the guy's kind of sliding into second base. I could see that.
Yes.
But me going that way the whole time, what are we doing?
Like, okay, no offense. God rest his soul. Tony Gwynn, one of the best contact hitters of all time. But if you wanted to let's play a very mean game right now. If you were to have dinner, and after that dinner, you would have the Matrix downloaded into your head to how to hit a baseball, you're probably going to ask Barry Bonds. Like, that's probably going to be the guy. He has 3,000 hits from like 2,900. If he played another few years, he would have done it.
Yeah.
Like, and he would have also had 800 probably home runs, right? That's the other part of that, right? So that's probably the best guy. Like, that guy would tell you so many different things than what you would think about, like, I'm just trying to hit the ball that way. It's like, well, what about this pitch? The one that I hit into McCovey Cove 87 times or whatever the crazy number is, right? It's like he wasn't punching Judy over the shortstop. He literally created a cultural phenomena of people having boats and rowing out there into the fucking ocean and waiting for a ball that may or may not be there, but we're here for it. Like, that's not hitting the ball into the left center gap, right? That's a different thing. But maybe conceptually, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to hit the ball that way as a warm-up, right? Because then again, John, if you know a guy's always trying to do one thing, you're just going to do the opposite, right?
Or just play into it, right? Like, I enjoy people trying to go oppo on me. It makes me giggle because I'll just keep throwing cutters away. You're going to go oppo, and then you're going to hit a grounder to the second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're like, why did that happen? Well, that pitch doesn't work on that swing. That's why. It doesn't work that way. If I spot the cutter where it's supposed to be, you can go with it till you're blue in the face. I move my second baseman over. My first baseman's going to go get anything, and I'm going to run to first and catch the throw every time.
That's the other part of it. Like, I know we were ripping on defense last time, but that also goes with it. Like, there's 2 lines, 3 gaps in the infield, 2 gaps in the outfield. So that's 7 holes in the field, technically, right? So it does even the game out. There's 7 of them. You take out the pitcher and the catcher because they're busy doing shit. These guys are who are defending, right? So you're talking about a guy who knows his own players. It's like, why are you trying to go somewhere that you're not good at hitting these 3 lines and gaps? You're just not. Like, you said middle, line, in between the shortstop, and then there, it's like, you got more chances to win on this side of the field than you do over here, bro. Like, it's just an odds game. Like, if we're gambling here, like, if you know you got a 1 out of 5 or a 1 out of 3 or a 1 out of 5, like, I'm taking 1 out of 3. It's just math. So it's like you have to know what you're better at. But then, of course, now I'll be the baseball coach. Sometimes the situation will suggest, all right, dude, in order for you to win this baseball game, the guy on deck has hit 19 consecutive, like, at-bats with, like, a hit or something like that. Like, this dude is raking behind you. I should set this guy. Like, it's okay to be a point guard, right? It's okay to dish out an assist, even though it's not a baseball stat. Like, let's say you move the guy over and then that happens, right?
Right.
But if it's your chance to do damage, you got to be playing where the odds are in your favor.
Totally.
Then you can beat guys like John, too, right? Because you can lull him into a sense of security. You might have to lose 2 at-bats to do it, like sacrifice 2 to get 1, and be like, oh, this asshole's trying to go outside all day.
I had someone say that finally. Someone was like, you don't throw inside, like, at all in live. And I'm like, it's not nice. And they're like, what?
It's not.
I'm like, if I threw inside like I was really trying to win a game, like, it would get ugly.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm using both sides of the plate, like, you're not going to, like, we're going to get more swing and miss. The slider's going to be more effective. The curveball's going to be more effective. The cutter's going to be more effective. So I just, like, try to be nice.
That's why I do appreciate your ability to do that, because that is a thing that I don't think guys understand. It's like coaches are trying to get you to be nice, but you have a skill level where you can be nice and beat someone.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm not trying to humiliate you. I'm trying to get you out. There's a fine line between the two.
Totally.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, off of hitting. Let's talk pitching.
Okay.
What happened to Jack Kelly, bro?
Jack Kelly. I don't know.
You didn't see that with the Red Sox versus the Rays yesterday?
No, let me see. I haven't caught any. Yes, yesterday's my long day, so I got nothing in highlights. Okay, so let's go to the YouTube.
That was a short day for me yesterday. That was a short day. So, got to watch some high school baseball. That was fun.
Jack Kelly yesterday
versus the Rays. He throws a pitch, grabs his elbow, tears come out. Now, he looked like he slapped his pocket as well. Like, or his arm slapped his body. And I didn't know if you had any idea of maybe like watching this guy throw.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't see it. Jack Kelly, spelled normal Kelly?
Yeah, normal Kelly. Jack Kelly with the Red Sox. But anyways, just arm injuries like early in the season.
Here we go. 37 seconds. Give me a minute to get through this. Here we go. And it was on a changeup.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, pronation.
Oh, shit. Good here. That's the most eccentric position I think your arm can make.
Yeah, he full on pronated all the way through it, snapped it.
So is that a TJ?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she gone. See you in 2 years, big dog.
Such a wild injury that is, dude.
For sure.
It's such a powerful, like that and the Achilles. Oh Christ! I feel like the ACL guys are bouncing back like fast now from the ACL because it's like
they've definitely got way better at it.
Like, didn't Stroman actually blow out his plant leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. He was pitching a year later. That's
wild.
Yeah,
my ACL was like 7 months, and that was back in that was 2002.
Dude, that's crazy. 7 months, dude. It's like a year back for most NFL guys.
I had I think they go about it differently. I went super aggressive on my recovery. I had family that was physical therapists, and they just told me how to do it. So like, I just did these exercises every day and got my knee as strong as possible. So I was back playing 7 months later. I wasn't going to take no for an answer either, honestly. I was just going to play. We fixed it. I can't hurt it. Let's go, you know?
So, from the other side of the pitching side, okay, I wanted to ask you like another game theory kind of question based around Freddie Freeman's 15 pitch at bat, right? Like, did you see that list of pitches? I don't know it off the top of my head, but they took a screenshot of every pitch that was on there, and I really wanted you to see it. It's out there on the interwebs, on Instagram somewhere. But it's out there, right? And it was such a great example for you to have like looked at this and been like, okay, because it was such a great. I mean, 15 pitch walk. It's kind of anticlimactic. Somebody's got to get out or get a fucking hit like that. That's whatever. But I just wanted to throw it out there because you're good at like your sequence idea, right? And I just wanted someone to be able to interpret it the way you do, the way that we can. I wish I knew it off the top of my head. Damn it. Huh. We got to find that, and then we'll do that the next podcast or something like that.
Sounds good.
That's a good example of like maybe not knowing how to sequence your stuff the right way. Because like a lot of stuff that I see in the big leagues is so much repetitive action. And I feel like they don't switch it up enough off of, and again, I'm not a big leaguer and I was never that good, but just like watching the game from this perspective, I'm like, I respect the tunneling. I understand all that, but I feel like they just dip into the same model. Like they go into these sabermetric battles where it's like you have to beat this guy inside. Where it's like, why? So you see maybe 5-6 sliders out of 10 pitches toward the inside part of the plate towards maybe a lefty, right? And then just using that as an example, and then typical change-ups away. And it's just the intent is correct with trying to get guys out, but there seems to be a lack of creativity in those dire situations because they don't know how to maybe mix speeds up on certain, like the Zach Greinke's. Like, I don't know if Zach Greinke would have ever gone 15 pitches to anybody. Like, that would have been hard, really hard to go 15. At some point, he's going to throw a 64-mile-an-hour curveball down the dick and be like, you're going to do something with it. Right?
Love that.
So,
yeah.
That's just all I'm saying. Right. Well, do you remember ever going like 15 pitches? Like, what do you consider a long at bat? What do you do in those situations?
I have a good one. Good one. Marcus Lattimore, not the defensive end for South Carolina, the baseball player who's still playing to this day. I will never forget. It was like this. I remember being third game of the series against Navajoa, and this guy just hit like 6 home runs in 2 games. And I was like, this guy, like the first game he hit 4. I was like, what's going on? Like, this dude's unreal. So I'm starting. So I have all respect. And I'm like, okay, he was on everything he hit was a heater. So I was like, okay, no heaters, 0. So I decided to start off with first pitch cutters inside, and he hit 11 home runs foul in a row. all on cutters inside. All on cutters inside. He just kept hitting them foul. And I was just like the first one he hit, I was like, ooh, got it. I was like, nah, the angle's wrong, way too foul. And then he kept like trying to straighten it out, and he kept like getting it really close, and it just kept hooking foul. And they were mamos. I was like, Jesus, like we were laughing at each other and shit. And I was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm going stupid on this. I'm not throwing anything else until he either hits it out or misses it. And he finally popped up at the catcher like pitch 12.
I guess if it's your best pitch and you can do it that well, you got to do it until it works or it doesn't.
And I even missed over the middle a couple times, and he still just hooked it foul. I'm like, you're just swinging straight heater. Why would I throw anything else? Yeah. And you're early on it, and he just like couldn't adjust, just like barrel, homer, 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 homer. I was like, okay. You know what I mean?
Incredible. So, like, if you were to look at that situation now, being who you are, the samurai you are today, would you have gone about it the exact same way?
Sure.
100%?
For sure. Especially first AD, like, he is their best hitter. So if I only show him one of my 7 tools, like, I still have the other tools to play with as we go.
Right.
So it's almost like the at-bat doesn't even count towards our battles because he's like, the reference isn't the same.
So one of the correlations that I try to think about is kind of like taking somebody down, right? Like, the better somebody is at wrestling, you have to off-balance them and confuse them. But then it's very interesting. When you watch shit at like the Olympic level, people just try their best shit.
Yeah.
And the other guy knows what that dude's best shit is. So it might just be like one takedown move that you see repeated over and over and over again. And maybe the guy just knows the counter. So maybe that dude actually straightened one out and hit it off you. What would you do then? Would you still go about that the next at bat?
No. New sequence.
Okay, right? So, like, that was the idea. Like, they did it until it didn't work, right? And then when the guy hit the counter and actually proved, like, oh, shit, you, like, fucking not only got a hit, you, like, fucking smoked that ball, right? Then they're like, okay, I got to really switch the thinking up, right? But at the mid-tier level, right, where it's like guys that aren't quite at the highest level where they're getting paid and playing the Olympics, they're at the low-tier shows. You can watch 5 hours of jiu-jitsu and grappling on YouTube. It's like that's what it's like, a 5-hour YouTube live show. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
All these guys trying to make it. It's like indie ball.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's just
indie ball. Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is. And if you look at it like that, dude, they just try one thing over and over again, but it doesn't work like that. Like, it stops working.
Right.
And they don't have a backup plan to go off of that. So I guess maybe what I struggle to understand is, if it is that good, maybe you eventually know this shit's going to work, right? But then eventually that guy's got to switch up the sequence just so he can have long-term success, because you can't just do that all the time.
Right. Yeah, like if I threw first pitch cutter to the next time, like, he for sure hit it 5,000 times.
Yeah. Right.
Homer, fair. That was dumb. That was dumb. Don't do that. Yeah. That happened. In college, that happened too, the vice versa, where I had no control. And I remember facing this lefty. His family's name is on the dang hitting facility at West Alabama. Okay. And we decided to throw him inside fastballs, and he hit like 4 home runs in the series. And then when I got up there, I decided I'm not throwing inside fastballs. I'm going to throw fastballs away. And our coach kept saying, you got to get it inside. I'm like, dude's already hit 4 out on heaters inside. Yeah, but you didn't get it in. I'm like, why even try? What are we doing? This is dumb. Literally,
like, what if I miss and I don't?
Yeah. It was literally like change up, heater, ground ball short. I'm like, sick. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Well, my friend, I think I got to go. We're getting ready to get started, but I appreciate your time. Guys, like and subscribe, free follow us as we go. This will be on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You got anything else?
Hitters that hit, they hit often. If you want to be a hitter, you got to come hit with me. Not because I know everything, but you're not hitting right now. You're watching this.
Agreed. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon, bud.
Later, guys.